Good morning. It's Saturday, December 25th, Christmas Day. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and season's greetings and happy holidays or whatever you want to call this day. And I want to talk today about some good things that happened in 2021. I know most of the time I rant, and it's not necessarily funny or good and bad. It's a bad sometimes because there are things that are going on that need to be discussed and brought to light. And today I want to bring some good things to light, some good things that happened in 2021. And I'll start with the virus, with the coronavirus. And it's bad. That's been bad, but there have been good things that have been associated with it. A year ago, a 90-year-old woman was the first person injected with a vaccine. And since that time, almost 9 billion people in the world have been vaccinated. Yes, we're falling behind in some areas and other things like that, and we haven't reached everybody. But it's a good thing that we were able to develop a powerful vaccine, a vaccine that seems to be working. And the only problem with the vaccinations are the people who don't get vaccinated. But I'm not going to talk about that because that's a bad thing. I want to talk only about the good things. And next on my list is something that was accomplished by researchers at Brown University. They were able to successfully transmit brain signals wirelessly to a computer for the first time. Now this is a breakthrough move because there are paralyzed people who can't necessarily get around and do much. So a human can now connect wirelessly to a computer. And that opens up an entire life to a person who's basically physically immobile. Think about this. I spend hours on the computer working on my rants and things. And I can't imagine that somebody who can still think but is immobile, physically immobile, has now given the opportunity to sit in front of the computer and just think about things and get a lot of work done. Think about that. That's a possibility that these people could have actually go to work and make a living because they can have a computer that listens to them and executes what they want to do. An amazing breakthrough. One of the good things this year. And in Africa, the world's first 3D school was created. In less than 24 hours, a school was built for children in Malawi in July, and it used 3D printing technology. Imagine that, in an area that is desperate and downtrodden, and children had to travel long distances to school. They now have the capability of building schools and reducing the distances that children have to travel, and they have created the ability to create more schools. That's an eye-opener. It's terrific that people have figured out ways to use the new technology to help people and help countries. And that happened this year in July in Malawi. Here's another one from overseas. In the United Kingdom, Uber drivers were granted workers' rights, which means that they are employees and not self-contractors. They are not considered gig workers. They are not self-employed. This means they are open for medical benefits, paid holidays, sick leave, and things they were not able to get before. Now, I don't know if many gig drivers, many of the Uber workers really necessarily wanted that, since maybe they were happy driving around and doing whatever they were doing for themselves without the benefits of being an employee. There are people that think that being a gig worker is okay because I can work when I want, and I'm not tied to anything, and I make enough money, and I decide what I'm going to do with that money, and nobody tells me I can't take 2 weeks off and stuff like that. So I'm not sure that being a worker is necessarily the best thing, but it's there if they want to use it, and that's a good thing. And then we had this thing that got very little press. United Airlines flew a passenger aircraft with 100% sustainable fuel. They took 100 passengers and flew them from Chicago to Washington, D.C. on a non-petroleum-based sustainable fuel made from sugar water and corn. Imagine that we could make fuel from sugar water and corn, and it burned 75% cleaner than petroleum-based fuels. Well, if this is the case, then maybe we need more farms to grow more corn and more sugar plants, and then we would do away with gasoline. That would be a good thing. And then we wouldn't have to worry. And electric cars might disappear too. So that's something good. Another way to get from one place to another without using gasoline. Something else that deals with the fuel situation. Electric vehicles outsold diesel vehicles for the first time in Europe. In August of this year, electric cars outsold diesel ones in Europe for the very first time. And next year in 2022, they expect that there will be more electric cars sold overall in England. And it's believed that because electric cars are getting cheaper and there are more of them, many different types now being made, and there's petroleum shortages, then electric cars are going to be on their way to the future. And maybe this is really going to affect climate change. That would be a good thing too. One last thing. You know that waiting online has been a pain in the ass for many people. If you had to go get shots or something and you had to wait online, and I can tell you I waited 4.5 hours to get my COVID shot, my first COVID shot, and I waited 2 hours to get my second COVID shot. Well, we have a solution to that. There is now a system called virtual queues, where you can select a place online and not be there. So through your computer, you can register to be somewhere, to see something, and as long as you get to that spot before your time is run out, you're okay, So that system called virtual queues has significantly reduced the associated pain of waiting and standing in line. And if you went through what I went through to get my booster shots and my first shot, well, the booster wasn't as bad, but the first and the second shot were really pretty bad. Hours waiting. So that's what I have to say for today, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.